My name is Jamie Broadnax of Black Girl Nerds, and I am with the Vocal Minority Podcast.
This episode of the Vocal Minority Report is rated Podcast MA and is intended for mature audiences. There is strong sexual content and more N-words and F-words than normal. Listener discretion is advised. Enjoy.
Previously on the Vocal Minority.
Are you part of the silent majority? Or are you part of the vocal minority?
Let's go. Attention, please.
If America can be saved, and I don't know if it's too late, but it'll be through a radio show like this new kind.
This shit here feels like a whole entire world collapse. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers.
It's the vocal minority.
The revolution will be live.
Welcome to another episode of the Vocal Minority Report. It's your boy MC. As always, you could have downloaded any podcast in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Got a great show for you today. We're going to be spending this episode bridging the generation gap because we've had two black women who self-identify as hoes, believe it or not. I'm not just saying that. I don't want to get in trouble. And so ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the Inner Hoe Uprising podcast and Slam Power Productions, we have Shanika and Sam on the show.
Hey, what's going on?
Howdy. No, see, did you say that because I'm Texan? Is that why you said howdy?
She actually always says that. It's like a thing.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if you were like on the low calling me out or something. Okay, cool. No, but all right. So howdy. All right, so good. So yeah, really thrilled to have you guys on. I guess really because I needed some help to celebrate Drizzy's birthday. So
30.
Right. So I hope you guys are ready for an Aubrey intensive show. I figure we'll start at Degrassi and we'll work our way up up to and through summer 16. And then hopefully we can answer the looming question hanging over all of us this election season. If the sex is so good, should you have to fuck for free?
I personally believe no. Sell your services. Definitely. Pro-sex work. Yeah, exactly. I'm very pro-sex work.
Okay, all right, well, and they may have something to do with the title. So that's what I want to get into first. So obviously I'm kidding about Drizzy. We'll let that go. So let's start, I guess, from the top. Let's figure out, so which one is Slam and which one is Pow?
I'm Slam. Sorry, I was like, I'm the first one, so I was born first. I feel like I should do it. Okay, so you're right. I'm Slam.
I am Slam, so you guys sound somewhat similar. Which is this Shanika or is this Sam? Which one is Slam? I'm sorry.
In the photo, I'm the one who's biting the banana on our podcast.
Okay.
With the odd hair colors all the time.
Gotcha. All right.
That's my identifying.
And I'm the other one.
I represent yourself.
It's such a sad image, though. I don't know. I chose to be sad in that picture,
but it's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. That's sweet.
She's the funny one.
Okay, so that's the Pow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I got you. So I'll make sure that that's the photo we use when we promote the show. So
okay.
So everyone will have a visual description for the folks who don't already listen to you guys, to your podcast. So tell us about Slam Pow and what that is, and then I want to get it obviously into your show and about you guys. So what is Slam Pow? What do you guys do there?
Do you want to take it? Okay. All right. Slam Pow Productions. We call ourselves a queer black feminist filmmaking duo. So we've been around for I guess like 4 years now.
I thought it was 5.
It might have been 10 years. I don't know. It feels like forever. I love you, man.
I love you too.
But, we have done some sketches, some short films, some docu-series, one cool feminist rapping series. I don't know what you would even call that. But yeah, and we try to do things from this queer black feminist perspective, but also have things be funny and enlightening. And then we ventured into podcasting. And then we also are doing a lifestyle travel series on the network, Black and Sexy, called Dope Deconstruction, that should be out soon.
One day.
But it also may never come out.
We're just waiting.
Okay, either way, they've heard it here first. Okay, so if it does come out, then we got the exclusive. If not, then, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Either way.
It's fine.
Okay, cool. So you guys made me want to have a co-host again, just so I can laugh a little more. I don't know what it is. It seems like the shows I listen to that have a female duo co-host, like there's another show I like, it's called Cardigans and Conversations. It's Colleen and Denise. But anyway, I feel like they kind of giggle all the time. And I don't know if it's sexist to say like women are giggling or whatever, if that's a pejorative term. But so because of that, I really enjoy your show, and you mentioned your podcast you guys do together. So let's talk about your podcast. And there's so much to talk about there, obviously, with the name of the show. And then at least for me, that it's a little, that's
the generational gap right there.
Right.
Everyone's a hoe nowadays.
Yeah.
If you're under like 28,
you're a hoe.
Yeah, we're all.
If you don't have sex, you're still a hoe.
Okay, see that's what I need to know, because I don't really understand the whole, I say self-identifying as hoe or whatever. I mean, obviously, I realize the tongue-in-cheek nature of it. Yeah, I definitely, that is a generational gap, because, I mean, thankfully, if it wasn't for like Snapchat and Instagram, like I wouldn't know how to Millie Rock and stuff like that. So
Well, thank God for those things.
right, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I stay young and abreast to what's going on in the world through social media. And because like my sister's 28, but she's damn near 30, and she's cool, but she's not that cool anymore. So
Oh, I like her. Not her.
yeah, she don't listen to the show enough, so it's cool. She'll probably never hear it. All she wants is free merchandise. Won't listen, but just wants a free shirt. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic.
Can I interject and ask how old you actually are?
Oh yeah, I'm not that old. I'm only 34, but.
Oh, okay. That's ancient to me, honestly.
Well, see, well, thank you. I appreciate that. No, because, well, you know what? That's a good place to kind of start, because I'm 34. How old are you guys? I think you're like 24 and 25. I don't really know, but I think
24 and 23.
Okay.
22. 23 soon. Yeah. She's a baby.
Oh my God, a real baby. Jeez Louise.
Not that much younger than you.
No wonder we couldn't record that late. You got to go to bed. Okay. Okay.
This is ageist.
Okay.
It is. I didn't even work that out. I didn't sign up for this.
I know you guys can take it though. So yeah, if anybody can take it, I know you guys can. You're young, you're energetic. You guys can put up with this. So let's kind of talk about me being ancient, you guys being babies, and how we connect. Well, you know what? Let's do that in a minute, because we're going to spend like the whole show kind of with me asking you questions, because I want to talk about what is a hoe. You said like everybody's a hoe now, everybody under 28. Like I want to know, I want to delve into that. I want to get into kind of like slut shaming off of that. And then, I want to make sure I'm not being a fuck boy in my current relationships. So there's a lot, and don't worry, I'm going to put a disclaimer at the beginning of this show. Like there's going to be a whole lot of N-words and more cussing and sexual content than probably most of my episodes. But I like that. So if I get to say fuck a whole lot, like it is what it is. Cause I listen to you guys' show, so I know how you get down. So feel free to be comfortable, and do your thing.
Sure.
So if you want to say,
Dick.
right, exactly. Exactly, because we got to get into that, because I don't understand being queer, but somebody likes dick though, right? You got to explain that to me. Like, there's so many. I mean,
possible. Somebody likes dick. Someone has to.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm just telling you my biases and my ignorance up front, so you know.
Okay. I'm pretty sure we both do. Yeah. We both will enjoy dick.
Well, see, then maybe I don't know what queer means. Then, see, I'm
I'm bisexual. Yeah.
Okay, see, and then we have to get into like poly, like you're gonna have to educate me and the audience. So
yeah, we're up for it.
But let's talk about your show specifically, and you guys can tell us about Hoe Uprising, the genesis for that, what you guys do, and then we can talk about Bae and Hoe of the Week and just some other staples of your show.
Okay, you like to take that, my friend? All right. So, what the show is, or the origin of the show? Have I ever recorded this show?
Come on.
No, she's got it. All right, so the Hoe Uprising, it's a podcast you can find on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, and it's a funny podcast hosted by two
Black feminist 20-somethings living it up in New York City, and we're both polyamorous. We release once a week, and we talk about, sex, gender, sexuality. We have 4 segments to our show. First segment is Fuck That, where we discuss current events through the gender sexuality lens. Second segment is Fuck It, where we have any old topic of the day. We've done, I guess, porn, bloodlust. Trying to think of our big one.
Some other boys, host curve, dating apps, interracial dating. Yeah. Anything about sex, love, and gender.
Yeah.
Or sex, love, and dating, rather.
Then the third one is Fuck Me. We talk about our lives, our sex lives, and beyond. And then the last segment is Fuck You, and we have listeners. We've had some call in, but we have people write in to our email, ihuhe@gmail.com.
IHU podcast. And then we recently added our Hoe of the Week, Bae of the Week, Self-Care Tip of the Week segments, which are really 2-minute segments. Hoe of the Week is basically when we shout out our fans. Bae of the Week is someone who, 1, we think is attractive but cool. 2, we think is doing something cool or something meaningful. And then Self-Care Tip of the Week was primarily Shanika's idea, and it's just different ways that you can take care of yourself and mentally, physically, emotionally, and all those good things. That's pretty much it.
I thought that was about masturbation. I was confused. Okay.
I mean, that can be self-care.
That is a form of self-care.
I'm such a nasty man. but anyway.
Thanks for the warning.
Just so you know, I mean, that's. I'm cracking myself up. I'm sorry.
For so long.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So who's Lucas? He sounds like he's in a tunnel. Is he your?
Forgot about Lucas. We love him. He's our audio engineer.
Okay.
He's a good friend of ours who helps us record the podcast every week for
amount of money.
Yeah,
it's great. I mean, he sounds like he's in a tunnel because we don't have a third mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he really has something to say, we give him Shanika's mic usually.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if you guys were literally trying to hold the man down or what the situation was there.
I mean,
okay.
That's what feminism is, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, hey, you know what? I guess it's in the eye of...
Some people would say that, but...
Right, no doubt.
That's not the definition of feminism at all. But it's definitely not ours.
We'll have to get into that at a later date, you all's definition. Actually, or maybe that might be apt for kind of this conversation here, because that might help me wrap my brain around the idea of everyone under 28 being a hoe and the embracing this idea. So let's start there and talk about the name of your show and what the term means to you guys, what you mean by, fill us 30 somethings and ups in on what the hell you guys are talking about and embracing this word that was always a very negative word. Explain to me and us what, you guys kind of ownership of that term.
Okay. Well, I mean, when we first came up with the name for the show, that was Shanika's idea, and she was literally talking about just a great sexual uprising that occurs when she drinks tequila, and I related to that.
Okay.
I mean, I guess the point.
So tequila does make her clothes come off,
yeah. Well, I mean, not necessarily. Just makes you
a little grabby.
No, wait, grabby.
I'm just trying to appeal to our country fans. That's a country song. But yeah, go ahead.
Basically, when we say that we're self-identifying hoes, I mean, usually when someone uses the term hoe in general, they're saying that it's usually a woman, it's almost always a woman, is doing something sexually that they don't agree with. And it can be anything, honestly. It can be sleeping with 20 guys makes you a hoe. Sleeping with several guys at once makes you a hoe. Sucking dick makes you a hoe. Or even sleeping with people before you're married, losing your virginity before you're married makes you a hoe. So, any type of way that you're expressing yourself sexually can be deemed as bad in someone's mind.
Even learning. Exactly. People make sure.
Yeah, you can be a hoe for anything sexually. And we personally think that as long as you're not hurting anyone and you're in consenting sexual situations, sexuality is perfectly fine. So we're taking the term hoe back and giving us ownership over that term, kind of in the way that people took the term nigga back. So that's basically
right.
That's basically. The
I feel like you said nigga weird there. You were like,
yeah, because I was like, I feel like I'm speaking a little bit like smart right now, and I just gotta put in a nigga real quick. But I had to like,
it's the academic use of nigga.
Yeah, I had to academic it up, put it in quotations, nigga. But I usually don't say it like that. I'm from New York. Come on.
I know, which is why I picked up on you saying it oddly. There was a distinct change in your cadence when you got to the word. So yeah, but no, it's all good. But no, because that's I'm glad you said that, because that's what I was thinking in my head. And it's funny that until maybe this conversation, well, we talked to Jada Gomez of Latina Magazine a couple weeks ago, an episode A Woman's Worth, and we kind of got into it off of the Kim Kardashian robbery, and kind of got into slut shaming and victim blaming, and based on that conversation. And I'm starting to understand more and more of the reclaiming of it and the real comparison between that and the word nigga, because I like the word nigga. I use it all the time. Like it doesn't faze me. I use it a lot, like it just, my niggas are my people, like or some nigga might piss me off, it's a part of my vernacular, and it doesn't really faze me, but I acknowledge that it does bother, quite a few people, both black and white. Anyway, so I can understand it, but I tell you, it's still kind of jarring for me to hear it, and to like the slut walks and stuff like that, with like that stuff is still kind of new to me, but I appreciate you guys just embracing it and kind of just taking it head on. So I'm curious as to, your show obviously appeals to people like you, your age range, and the claiming of that. Like, what kind of feedback do you get about the name? I'm sure you don't worry about it, but do you get any negative feedback?
People always laugh at the name. Every time I say Inner Hoe Uprising, they chuckle. I feel like it's generally positive feedback. We have one person who is I guess like to challenge our point of view sometimes in our comments, but it's usually a constructive conversation. So I don't think we're getting too much hate that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I think the hoe. The name is a part of the appeal of it for me. I think a lot of people kind of get drawn in by the name, which is great.
Of course.
And then in regards to like backlash, there was like this one ex-friend that I had who was like, why would Sam call herself a hoe? Because I'm like, that girl is a longtime friend of my boyfriend, and we are both in a polyamorous relationship, and I guess she doesn't quite agree with that. And she thought that I was like kind of like disrespecting myself or whatever, and not being feminist enough, even though we fucking dissect feminism on every single episode. We're very feminist. We are extremely feminist on that show. Like, we advocate for women and queer people and people of different intersections on every single fucking episode, no matter what. And then one time my mom was like, your auntie might not like that name, Sam, but I get it. It's the 21st century. Oh. Everybody's a hoe. So that's the only two backlashes that I've ever experienced in regards to the name. So, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Actually, it's funny. I just told my ex who I was having on the show, and she LOL'd when I told her Inner Hoe Uprising, so she got it, so yeah, okay.
I'd like to interject really quick, though, also. Like, I feel like me and Shanika are also both, like, middle-class, deemably respectable black girls, and if we were, like, more ratchet than we actually are, and hosting the show, and it was called Inner Hoe Uprising, and we didn't have the privilege of having like college education and knowing our feminism the way that we do, we were just like talking shit, which is perfectly fine. Right. People would probably have an issue with the name. But I think people listen to the show and they're like, oh, they're smart black girls.
Yeah, they're probably surprised.
Yeah.
Holy, good insight. I've never thought about it like that.
You always gotta check your privilege.
Word.
Word indeed. All right. Okay. I think I heard you guys mention coming from a smart perspective on one of your episodes, maybe your first episode actually, and when you guys were kind of setting up what you're going to do. So I wonder what.
I did say smart perspective 1 full year ago.
Okay.
I didn't that though.
Yeah, we'll see. That shows you that I did my research, and I wonder what the smart perspective or what unique perspective you guys think you bring to your audience, which obviously is a good size and you have a good following. So what do you think that brings out to this lexicon of podcasting and just digital media in general? Have you thought about you guys kind of place and how important your role is in that?
I don't know if it's really I guess maybe from my college education, I've gotten I've come to understand intersectional feminism. So I wouldn't even call it like the middle class upbringing, but I think it's like our dedication to understanding and looking at things through the lenses of race, class, gender, sex, and sexuality, and, you know, trying to make sure that however we're thinking or viewing things isn't building upon already existing systems of repression. Like, we try really hard to go against that. And I think that really is what pulls us apart from other people. Because, like, I know we've heard podcasts where it's just like people making, black dick jokes or making fun of poor people or like being all fat shaming. And I feel like our podcast comes from a place of, I guess, love. And, you know, we hope to, I guess, this might sound like very dramatic, but like liberate people, you know, to say, hey, it's okay to be you. And we're looking out for everybody who's listening. And, you know, we never come from a place of hate with what we're trying to do.
That was a great answer. I feel like you should be the next Miss America, honestly. That was beautiful. I totally agree. I have nothing else to add.
Okay. All right. Well, done and done. All right. Well, cool then. So you guys, you know, you got your very open and honest conversations through some very active storytelling. And you know, what's, are you good?
Yeah, I was just recounting all of the stories that I've told. It was just shame laughing, honestly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you want to give us our audience a little something, a little sample of one of these active stories that you've told? You want to give them something?
I think my worst story ever was on episode 2, which is good because we've come 50 episodes since then, and I don't think it's ever gotten that low. But I just got very drunk at a party with Shanika, and I was just following a man around. I thought he was very cute. I wanted to have sex with him at that party. But he was not with the shits, as they say, and that is why it's shameful. I was just doing too much one night. Episode 2.
On that episode, right?
I threw up on the end while we were recording. Yeah, it was really rough. That's active storytelling. I was so drunk last night. There's the evidence.
That's not a lie.
Okay. So I have so many questions about what you just said. So
Okay.
you said my man wasn't with the shits. Is that what you said?
Yes, that is a New York parable.
Okay, so well, give us a little more context or on that specific.
Okay, well, basically,
actually, we do very well in New York, and like as a matter of fact, this is very weird. Not weird, but it's a great thing. But our largest audience is in the Northeast, and specifically Brooklyn and the Bronx, like boroughs. They love us. I don't know why, but I dig it. But so those people, they know what's going on. But you know, howdy down here, Texas boy. I don't know what. So yeah, give us a little more on that.
Okay, well, by not with the shits, I just mean he wasn't interested.
Okay, well that's
at
easy.
A previous party, and he was with the shits, and then at this party, he was like sort of with the shits, and then throughout the course of the night, he was not with the shits, and I was very much with the shits.
So
just say one story using the exact same phrase
Big
over
as
and
hell.
over again. I could get more detailed, but I'm not sure if you want me to.
Let's roll. I mean, let's get into the shits. Let's have an active story. You know, let's do something. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you already said you threw up on your show, like we're like so.
Okay, well, the first party with the shits, we were like going to actually have sex at that party in a bathroom, but he did not have protection, neither did I, so went home. Month later, came back, same person's house, same apartment, he was there at the party. I saw him, ignored him as soon as I went in, you know, for the allure effect, like, I'm that bitch, you can't be bothered, but you want me, type of thing, or whatever.
So I feel you, yeah.
Yeah, that was my approach. Somewhere throughout the course of the night, he did notice me or whatever, and we got to the party very late, so I knocked back a lot of different colored liquors. There was like beer, light liquor, dark liquor, there was a lot going on. I don't know if weed happened, I don't think it did. But, yeah, so I was like very drunk or whatever, and at some point he kissed me, and I kissed him back, and I was like, yes, it's going to happen tonight. I will experience this penis. And then just like dancing to some Future with Shanika's boyfriend John, who's totally awesome. And then like I look up and he's like kissing another girl in the same party, and it's not that big of an apartment. And then I'm just like twerking, so I get his attention back or whatever.
Oh
and
my
he like
gosh.
comes to me for a little bit, and then I look up again, and he's kissing some other girl. And all the people were wearing gray, like I was wearing gray, and he was wearing gray, and both the girls were wearing gray. And then I was chasing him. I don't know like where the gap was. Like I just don't remember exactly what occurred.
Me and John, me and John were trying to find you. He said it was a very small apartment, so he thought maybe you guys had gone to the bathroom to go have sex, but like both of the bathrooms are empty. We realized, so we went outside, and you were just there. He was like leaning against the wall, and you were leaning
in classic
on
Subway
him.
fashion.
Yeah, you were like leaning on him. I know what you were saying to him, and his friends were like, "Yo, get your friend." And I was like mad at them. I was mad at them for being so rude. And so like I was like, "Hey, let's come this way, Sam." And then he like walked out of the door, and then I'm like, "All right, he's gone now." I turn around, I look back, and I see you like run into the door and kind of like hit it a little bit.
I'm
like
a very strong person.
You are very strong. And then we were outside, and then you were hanging out with him. That's, I guess, a nice way to put it. You guys were hanging by a gate, and then he eventually left.
Yeah, good. Which he should have. I was mostly ashamed of this because, like, at first there were some, there was, like, some reciprocity or whatever. Like, he kissed me back or whatever. He called me pretty. All these things were happening. But obviously, at some point, he, like, wasn't interested. He was not with the shits. And I was, like, sexually harassing him. That made me feel bad the next day. And I was also sitting on Shanika's toilet for, like, 6 hours. That also made me feel bad. I fell asleep. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's my fault. John was like, "Is Sam okay?" And I was like, "She's fine." And then he just didn't wake up.
I was not fine. But yeah, like the next day I texted him and I was like, wow, there was no excuse for my actions. I am so incredibly sorry. So yeah, that's something that I shared with our listeners in the second episode, and I'm so glad that some of them stayed.
Yeah, they could have left.
They could have been like, this bitch is an abuser. She's a sexual harasser. But yeah.
I'm really just kind of in awe of my man, like kissing like 3 or 4 women in the same party.
I respect his game. I'm so sorry, my phone is ringing.
That's him calling you now.
How did he get my house phone number? Literally, no one uses that. That's why I just hung it up. I didn't even answer.
Well, I told you this episode was full of surprises. He's actually here with me now. Like this is. Have you ever watched Catfish? Like yeah, it's like a weird version of Catfish. Yes. But okay, so well, thank you for that very active story. It was both of you guys going back and forth. There was a lot of like that. That's the kind of, I feel like you guys are like my black version of the HBO series Girls. Like I feel like
that's cool. I've actually never watched.
Okay, I have actually. I've watched like the first 2 seasons. I haven't watched since the first 2 seasons only because I don't have HBO anymore. But it's actually not a bad show. I feel like it's telling me, I'm like, you know what? White people are exactly like I thought they were. I feel like it.
That's funny.
I feel like it's like, yep. It's like a big echo. It's like a big echo chamber for me when I watch Girls. But you know, really though, like, and I don't know, and I'm this is just kind of off the cuff here. Like Lena Dunham, right? I only know, I think she's very talented because she does a lot on and for that show and whatever, but I don't know tons about her. I know she might say some crazy stuff or whatever, but she does like to get naked all the time. She doesn't care about her body. Like, I feel like she's kind of the white version of you guys. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but so.
Not to me, just because I don't know much about her. And because a lot of people on Twitter hate her. And
yeah, but
a lot of people on Twitter don't hate us.
She appears to be racist. But, you know, I'm not making this based on any knowledge, so.
Right. Well, I mean, she may be a racist, but she makes good art, and I know that sounds fucked up. But it is. I'm not excusing her racism. I'm only commenting specifically on her art and her point of view as I take in her art. So yeah. So I'm not making a direct comparison between Hoe Uprising and Slam Pow and versus Lena Dunham. So
I get that.
Yeah.
I watched the pilot and I was just unimpressed.
But you know what? And
where is the comparison?
And only because young 20-something women living in New York who have a certain ownership of their sexuality and how they're going to be seen in this world. At least that's what I get from when I initially watched the show. And again, this was my initial entree to her years ago. So any shit post, you know, 2012, I really can't speak for, or whatever. But so that's the comparison that I'm making on limited knowledge on you guys and her. So so how do you take that comparison?
That sounds like a great comparison.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, yeah. I don't mean that. I'm not throwing shade or coming for you. I'm on. Do people still use those terms? Am I too old? Do people still say those things? Okay.
People use those terms, but also my mom uses those terms.
I know. See, right. I got okay. I got to figure out. Yeah. Okay. I want to make sure that I'm cool enough to say, I don't know, Millie Rock, but I don't want to say it. And that's probably too old too. Like what it's you're not hitting the Quan anymore, doing the running man. Like what are you kids doing right now? So I know what's going on.
I think the new dance craze is juju on that beat.
That's what I meant. Juju on that beat. I can actually do that one. Yeah, that's what I meant.
And I haven't learned how to do it fully yet.
I'm
about to learn this weekend.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it. So
yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube. Okay, I'm trying to
it's big on title scene.
All right, but okay, so this might be the episode that's known for when I make the tragic Lena Dunham in her Hoe Uprising comparison. But so yeah,
You'll never work in this town.
Right?
Again.
Yeah. No. Yes. Okay, so then I will shift from that, since you guys do agree with me ultimately now, to talking about more from a sexuality standpoint, because as we mentioned earlier, I thought queer meant, well, I guess I didn't mention this earlier, but like to me, queer meant gay, right? That I'm just being honest. So when I hear queer, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, gay, I get that. Or I'm was not taking into account, that means bisexuality or whatever. However, I am learning in the last 6 months that sexuality is in fact a spectrum. So I'd like to talk about being queer and what that really actually means, at least for you all. But then obviously I want to get into what the hell polyamory is.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have like the most up-to-date definition of queer, but it's just like
just what it means to you. Like, yeah,
I guess, because I'm not sure if people who are asexual would count as queer, but it's just like, for me, it's like not straight, like the opposite. How do you feel about that, Sam? Like if you're not straight, you can be queer. But you can also be queer as well.
Yeah, just not the standard heterosexual cisgender.
Yeah, and cisgender meaning you identify as the
gender that corresponds to the sex you were born with. So if you were born with a penis and testicles and you identify as a man, then you're a cisgender man. But if you're born with a penis and testicles and you identify as a woman, then you're a transgender woman.
All these terms are very, very new to me. You know what I mean? So I'm venturing to guess that at least some of our audience, those terms are very new to them as well. Because that's not something that they just weren't in the lexicon or the vernacular, 10 years ago. So to self-identify as these things and to, we used to say, somebody was, I guess it sounds terrible now, but, to say he or she is queer as a $3 bill, they just meant they were straight, queer meaning strange, which was the equivalent of being gay. You know what I mean? That was the, Go ahead.
Yes, queer itself is also a word that's been reclaimed in the same way that we're reclaiming hoe as well. Queer was a derogatory. And it also depends, like, if someone uses it to intend harm, then it is a derogatory word, but we mean it as, like, just not cisgendered, not straight.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Everything else is queer.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Okay, so then, speaking of things that I need you to make sense of for me. So obviously I could go to Wikipedia, but I have you guys. So let's talk about polyamory, right? Because that's, obviously I know what poly means. I can figure it out, but tell our audience what polyamory is and how that manifests itself, I guess, in you guys' relationships currently. And, I guess maybe more broadly if you can.
Okay. Basically polyamory is a love style, a way that a person can love. And basically it means that you can be in multiple different loving, sexual, flirtation relationships with multiple people at once, or you have the desire to do so, or you know that you are capable of doing so.
And that goes from either like fucking more than one person at a time, being in a relationship with one person, and then just not in a relationship with other people, being in multiple relationships, like, I wouldn't say multiple monogamous relationships. That doesn't make sense.
I was about to say, because most men would say, well, shit, they've been polyamorous like for years.
Well, seriously, it should honestly claim that term and let their partners know that that's the love style that they choose to practice.
Like, say, baby, let me holler at you. You know, I'm polyamorous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Honestly, my longstanding boyfriend does that, and he put a lot of ladies. To be honest,
that must be a young thing. I want to talk to you guys some questions about dating specifically.
He's 27. He's not that young.
Well,
he's practically ancient.
Right. Yes. I mean, he's almost as old as he's almost 30. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
Almost as old as God.
No doubt. Yes. He's.
JK.
Well, geez, how old am I and the rest of us then? Good Lord. All right. So let's not go there. So no. Okay. All right. So I'm my bad. Okay. So back to your polyamory description.
Mm-hmm. I guess one of the most important things is that it's consensual. Like all parties are aware. You know, it's not like you're not going behind anybody's back. Everybody knows, and everyone agrees to whatever is going on in the relationship.
Yeah, that is the most important thing, because otherwise it would just be considered cheating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. So polyamory good, cheating bad. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So I hear stories and reports about, you know, people getting married later in life and having babies or whatever else, comparatively speaking, you know, between 30, 50, 60 years ago, of course, we can all recognize that. So how do you guys, I mean, you're very young. Well, you know what I mean? You're in your early 20s. So you thinking about marriage and is that even a concern for you and some of your peers? Some of the old school philosophy is obviously people date and experiment and have multiple people, but this idea of polyamory, does that, not idea, the lifestyle or choice or whatever the correct way to say that is, does that extend into future relationships, or, you know, are you looking for a certain one partner to procreate with? Is that even a thought process? So how does polyamory exist in your life, you know, beyond 22 and 23? Or have you thought about that?
Hey, Matthew. Sorry, I'm going upstairs.
What up, Matthew?
Well, for me, I definitely see myself marrying my current boyfriend. I don't see myself in a second relationship during marriage. I do see myself maybe having other sexual relationships, but not like a full out have a husband and have a boyfriend. Maybe just like have a husband, have like a boo thing, and then maybe another thing, and maybe another. But yeah,
that's so crazy.
That's for now. We haven't discussed it past that. Like we haven't talked about it, but that's how that would be ideal for me.
Okay.
Personally, if I were to get married at this current moment, or who I see myself marrying, it would also be my current boyfriend, Akeem. Because I know how he does life, and I like it, and I would like to spend the rest of my life with him. If it were possible to have several husbands, I mean, that's something that I would consider. I don't know if it's something that I want. It would just have to be maybe down the line. I could see myself in several relationships going forward and being married. But I could also see myself in no relationships and just being with Akeem, and see myself just fucking people here and there and just being with Akeem, or yeah, whatever, boo things. So you really don't know until you meet people and experience these situations when they come, but I could see myself being in any type of situation like that. But I could also definitely see myself being married.
That's so interesting. Especially you got the Prince of Zamunda. That's so interesting to me, the idea of being married and having these boo things, because it's interesting. It's interesting and intriguing, but more so from the standpoint of, I was always under the impression that women attached way more emotion to sex than men do. And that, you know, that's just my generalization or whatever. I think some other dudes may share that. But as far as having the emotional attachment that you have with your boyfriends, and then, you know, this boo thing connection, is that just physical? Is it both emotional? You know, is the idea or myth that the vagina holds, you know, all of this emotion? Where do you guys fall there?
That's a lot of questions in one.
I know. Well, hey, I think you've listened before. That's how I do. You just gotta break it down. Take your time. Just unwrap it. It's cool.
I think first, women are not in any way more emotional than men, or more less, if that makes it sexually, or, you know, there's nothing, you can't generalize men or women emotional or sexual states. I think that's like the reason a lot of people feel that way. I feel like it's like an economic thing. Like over the course of history, women have been financially dependent upon marriage, so it may seem like women have to be tied to men in some way, whereas men are more free agents, which I feel like that could be the source of the stereotype, possibly historically, loose theory. For me personally, I can totally just have sex with people. It's totally, I guess, it's like a little self-esteem boost, you know, like I like the person to generally be into me, but who doesn't, you know? But I don't want an emotional attachment to the person in order to have sex with them, nor do I necessarily form one after. There's like 3 people I've had sex with who I rarely think about now, if that makes sense. Whereas my boyfriend, so I'm polyamorous, but my boyfriend is not polyamorous. For him, he can only have sex with people who you know, who he's in love with and has an emotional connection to.
And he doesn't have any concern with you sleeping with other dudes or women or whatever, other people?
You know, it was a little hard in the beginning, but ultimately, he was just like, he just wants me to be happy, and he's, you know, and we've both, you know, it's my body, and that's why I love him, because he doesn't try to impose any restrictions on me, nor do I impose any restrictions on him. He's like, it's your body, your choice. I'm not here to limit any of your decisions. So, you know, it was a little difficult at first, but, you know, I think we're good now. I know, it was definitely geez, sorry about that. My phone doesn't want to.
That's him texting you. Like,
it is him text that you're polyamorous. Stop.
Yes. He's like, that's what you think I think. Let me tell you what I really think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's him asking about groceries. But
eating that booty like groceries. What'd you say?
Yeah, that is what I said.
Okay.
That's what I try to keep up to date with all this.
I'm just trying to throw it out there, right? These are a bunch of dad jokes, you know what I mean? I'm just throwing them out there, you know what I mean? Like,
that's not a dad joke.
when you're a cool ass dad like me, it's a dad joke.
Okay, all right. So then, yeah, technically, yeah, you're a father who said it. Then
right, I'm a dad who made a joke. So yes, right. So okay, I got you. So what about the other perspective?
As in my perspective?
Yes, there we go.
Okay, I'm sorry. We have to go over that question again, because that was like a loaded question. I don't even know what the question was.
It's really just wrapping my brain around. It's twofold. It's me speaking for other men, at least that I've talked to, and my own idea of
like emotion and sexuality.
Yes, generalizing women. I'm admittedly generalizing women for this purpose of this question. Just how it just manifests itself for you personally, and then in your relationships, like, you know, like we just talked about with Joe, and then versus, you know, Akeem or whatever, you know, whatever you want to get into. I don't know how.
John, not Joe, but cool.
Hey, some J name. My bad. My bad. Hey,
that's okay.
Text him my apologies. My bad.
So in terms of emotionality and sex, no, definitely not. I don't think it applies to any women. I think that, I guess in certain situations when the sex is that good, you can have a like high level of chemistry with someone, and whatever gender or agender in between genders, you can kind of mistake that for emotions, or that can lead into emotions, but I don't think that pertains to any specific gender. For me personally, I've had sex with about 6 other people, because Akeem was my first. I've had 6 other sexual partners since opening up our relationship, and I only caught feelings for one, and that's because I love him and he's awesome. He's just also a really cool guy, but it didn't have anything to do with the sex, although that sex was also great. And then in terms of like how I've experienced, if you want to get like the guy's perspective from Akeem having relationships with other people outside of our primary relationship, it doesn't seem like he's caught feelings for, or women have caught feelings for him being sexual with him. It just seems like sometimes he's gotten into situations with people that he's really bonded with, and that's where like feelings really grew or whatever. But there aren't like women out there who have like been sprung by his bomb ass dick, and I will say Akeem has bomb ass dick, or just like all over him or whatever. So yeah, I don't think that sex plays into how you feel about someone personally.
Okay,
if that makes any sense.
It does make sense. I mean, it's a perspective that I would expect you to have based on listening to your show and what you guys where you guys come from. But I do think it is counter to, and you guys know this, it's counter to what a certain segment of society would feels I'll speak for other people. I'll generalize a little bit more. So I'm wondering if you guys do you think that and it's kind of a loaded question, that your thoughts on that may change as you age and mature, and you know what I mean, just natural maturation, you know, not that you're not mature, you know what I mean, but just over life as you gain perspective and emotions do change, feelings with these partners. Do you have any idea that may change as you get older, or do you feel like this is a lifestyle, for lack of a better term, that is pretty much ingrained in you, or do you ever think about that?
Do you mean the polyamory or views on gender?
No, not gender. I think we've covered the gender. I mean more polyamory and connection and traditional versus non-traditional. I'm just lumping, polyamory into being non-traditional, not in a negative way, but
I think a hoe is a hoe.
There goes. That's the name of the episode. Okay, there we go. All right. Thank you for that. Okay.
But yeah, I think, if I have feelings for someone in the future and I want to act on them and it doesn't, cause anyone else harm, I think I'll continue to go for that, because I don't think I'll ever get into the habit of restricting my sexual desire for the benefit of others, if that makes sense. Like I see it.
So is it purely sexual?
It can also be romantic, but I think when it gets to romance, it's a little more difficult for me, because I know that would be that could be a little more harmful to my boyfriend, who I love. So I guess in that case, I do restrict myself in terms.
Shout out to John.
Yeah. In terms of catching feelings, I try to keep them on the minimum and not foster them or make them. Yeah, I try to avoid that. But I know that could happen. That is a possibility. So I guess I'm not sure about. But in terms of sexual relationships, I see that as something that'll continue.
Okay. All right.
For me personally, well, I don't know, because 10 years from now, circumstances can be totally different in life in general. Just being polyamorous for this 1 year, while fun and gaining new relationships and having new experiences and stuff like that, it is kind of a difficult lifestyle to upkeep. I say that, one, because me and the people all the people I was dealing with did not have any experience in polyamory or whatever. So that's hard. And then also, it's kind of been a hard year for me, in general, and personal circumstances in my life. So I think at some points I could totally see myself foregoing polyamory and just opting into a monogamous relationship, just because it's simpler, because you're not dealing with as many people. But just my general inclinations towards how I would like to be romantically and sexually, polyamory for me is the most sustainable way to carry out a relationship, because I don't think it makes any sense to say that you're only going to want to be sexual with one person for the rest of your life or for a long period of time, or romantic with one person for the rest of your life or for a long period of time. Honestly, when I started out my open relationship with Akeem or whatever, I just suggested to him that he should be polyamorous or whatever, or that he should do things with other girls, and then also bring back one girl for the bedroom or whatever. But in general, I was suggesting that he should go out, because I thought that eventually we just kind of want to experience other things, although we still love each other. So I don't recommend monogamy forever for anybody, and I wouldn't recommend it forever for myself. But in 10 years, who knows what will be happening? So it's gray.
Okay, I like it. That's a good answer. All right, I appreciate both of you guys. The next questions I have center around dating, but they have to do with me specifically. So I need you guys to help me out here. I got just a couple very distinct questions. So one is, am I too old to date a woman in her 20s, right? So I'm 34, and I've tried, I usually date women who are in their 40s, actually, or who are older than me. That's been my MO, or when I have been dating. I wish I had tried polyamory a long time ago, but that's a whole nother show. But anyway, but now I'm but I don't know how to connect. How do I connect with a woman in her 20s? So am I too old to date a woman in her 20s? That's the first question. So I'm sure your answer will be no, but let's.
I love older guys. Shanika will date. I feel like the oldest guy that I was with sexually, briefly, disastrously.
Don't have me come to New York. But go ahead. What? Yeah,
I think he was 37. I was 21 maybe at the time. I don't know. But yeah, the connection wasn't such a bad situation. It's a bad example. But I think if you're into somebody, I guess just like put yourself out there, and if they're not being responsive to you, then obviously like back off. But I think people.
But they think I'm old though, right? Some people think I'm old.
I wouldn't think you were like if someone was comfortable with it, they would just go for it. You just gotta like be out there and see who bites. Because I'd be all.
I mean, I do okay in that area. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm chilling. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm good. You know what I mean? But
this is a small sample, but I have like 7 close friends, Shanika included, and everyone likes guys in your age range. That mid-30s kind of guy. I just think as long as you're
handsome with a beard. I mean, what'd you say?
I wasn't even talking about.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
But like, as long as the woman is like at the same level of maturity, hopefully at the same level of like professionality, I think that's all good. Honestly, as long as someone's not like in an inferior superior situation, then that's where you can like take advantage, and it gets kind of weird or whatever. Like if you're way smarter than a woman, that's odd, Or if you're
well, that's the story of my life. But man, what am I gonna do?
Okay. Well, all right. But
I kid. Also, so check on that one. I can in her early 20s. All right, I might have to figure that out or move to New York. So okay. So and then here's the other thing, right? So how do I keep from being a fuckboy, right? Because I'm a sensitive Cancer. I'm very mercurial. I've been hurt, and hurt people, right? So how do I keep from being a fuckboy? So what is a fuckboy?
Yeah, first we must define.
Yes.
Fuckboy.
Yeah. Pretty sure I'm not one. Like full disclosure, like I have to put that out there. But yeah, let's define what a fuckboy is first.
I think our agreed upon definition was a man or woman, although it is usually a man, who is constantly in the pursuit of having sex with the woman or man, but is totally aghast of putting in effort. So it's like a fuckboy will text you WID, what are you doing, several times a day, but that's the only thing that he'll do. So the what are you doing is him trying to be like, I'm not doing anything, so you can like roll through or whatever, but he's not going to really put in any effort to actually have sex with you. And he also doesn't care about you as a person. And that's okay, because I'm totally fine with 2 people who don't really care about each other emotionally having sex, but he makes it very clear about it. He makes it very clear that he doesn't want to have sex with, that he isn't invested in you as a person, but won't ever say it. And if you ask that question outright, you won't get a clear answer. Very dishonest. Yeah. So to not be a fuckboy, you have to be, 1, honest, be a clear communicator, and be considerate. Yeah. That's all you gotta be, honest and considerate. Just considerate.
Interesting. Okay.
And
all right.
Open communication, which I think all sexual partners should have, whether they like each other or not.
Yeah, that's tough though, because sometimes that open communication might mess up the putty, and then I think that's what some men might be worried about, communicating.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I think sometimes full disclosure might you don't want to show your whole hand because maybe because of the myth that you guys may have dispelled earlier about emotion and the vagina, and as far as if you tell hey, I just want to have sex, then that may not go anywhere, and then you can't have sex with her despite you really wanting to have sex with her, as opposed to if you feign an interest, feign some general interest under the guise of, hey, what are you doing? Netflix and chill. When
you're feigning general interest, you're also gonna you're gonna hurt someone's feelings in the end, and that's like, you're not really worth it. Like, just go on Pornhub and jerk off. Like, I don't want to hurt people when I'm trying to engage with them sexually or whatever, and I don't think just because there's this stereotype about what women want and what men want, that men should be allowed to do it because guys are quote unquote dogs, and women should expect guys to switch up once they get their nut or whatever. Like, just be a good person about it. Like, there's someone out there who will fuck you, so find that girl who's down for a whatever time. Like, don't fucking prey on the girl who wants a relationship with you bad. Exactly. And don't take advantage of that person. Yeah, because that shit hurts. Not that I know.
Right. That's what your homegirl told you. I got you.
No, they did.
Well, shoot. I think that's all I have for you. All right, let me think of some sort of closer and we can get the hell out of here.
Shanika can sing the Dick 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 song again if you want. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do.
Okay, well then Okay, then yeah, let's.
Reluctant, okay.
Well, I'm like, yeah, because you said sing it again. I'm like, wait, did I miss did I miss it in the earlier in the episode?
It happened earlier, yeah.
Okay.
It's the Nickelodeon.
Oh, like Nickelodeon, like that? You did that earlier?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
You're so immature and stupid.
How is it? How is it that I don't even remember that? I just did it, and then I don't even remember you doing it. That's weird. Okay.
It was a very subtle Nickelodeon.
Oh my god! All right, so I've got to.
Nickelodeon needs to pay us, honestly.
How do we get Nickelodeon trending? Is the larger topic, or the bigger question, I should say. But like, yes,
my board network when I started up.
Yeah, jeez.
That's funny.
Okay, all right then. Well, I guess we can.
Are you smoking weed, Shanika?
No, I just lit a match.
Okay. Lit a match. Like we're getting real comfy.
Okay. I love it. Are you smoking weed? Okay, I thought you were talking to me. I was like, I didn't know this was video Skype. What the fuck? Like I thought, like, what the?
Okay, so everyone's lit because this is like my fourth glass of wine.
I'm on my third beer, so I've tried to open them up quietly so you can't hear the because some of my episodes you can hear me actually popping the top, and it's kind of embarrassing. So, and usually I get up and I walk away like when someone's talking. I mean, it might be why I missed the Nickelodeon because I would probably walked away opening another beer. But anyway, all right. So I guess we don't really have a closer here. So let's this will be fun editing, but I appreciate you guys coming on. I think we have enlightened our audience on what some 20-something Black feminists. I think we bridged the generational gap here a little bit, or at least we tried to build a wall or a bridge between, not a wall. That's bad. Jeez Louise, that's bad terminology. A bridge. That's what we try to do. Bridge the generational gap here. So I really appreciate you guys coming on. Your perspective was wonderful. Thanks so much. I want to make sure everybody checks you guys out and add to your already large following. So how can people get a hold of you guys and check out your show and follow you guys?
Oh, thank you so much for having us. And if you listeners would like to listen to the show, you can find us by searching Hoe Uprising. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. We are on Twitter, Periscope, and Instagram at slam_pow. We are on Facebook by searching SlamPow Productions, and we are on youtube.com/SlamPow Productions. Oh, and me, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at SlamRid with 2 Ds, and I'm on Facebook and Snapchat at Samanners, SAMANNERZ.
I'm Shanika, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Shanika Powell, SHANIKA I put poetry there, so you can check it out. And if you want to find me on Snapchat, I am Volcano Vulva. Thanks.
I love it. Volcano Vulva. That should be like that's what we should be doing with our lives. This should be like our Black superhero. I say our. I've already co-branded your handle. You like that? And that's Hoe with an E, right? That's the traditional spelling. The modern spelling. Right, yes. Excuse me, I said traditional. It's the modern spelling. Ho, see that's old school versus new school. Yes. Hoe with an E, the modern spelling. Okay, all right. So here's the last thing. I need a liner from you guys. So I need you to say your names and, identify yourselves and say that you're a part of the vocal minority. You can do it real creatively and do it together, or you can, however you guys want to do it. But if you could identify yourselves and say you're a part of the vocal minority, so I can play that in perpetuity. And when you guys are more famous than you are, I can tell people we had you on the show.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do it creatively.
Well, I mean, whatever, like in tandem, like whatever works for you. Just, make it work. Go get Matthew and have him come down,
Do you want to do, I'm Shanika, I'm Sam. We're part of the vocal minority.
Okay. I think we should have I want to say I'm dick sucking extraordinaire.
Okay.
I'd like to have one as well. That's the first thing I thought of.
The classic ass eater.
I almost spit my beer all over this computer. Don't do that. Like, geez Louise. Cool. My gosh. I did not expect you. Like, dick sucker sounded okay, but when you said ass eater, it just threw me off. Okay. I'm sorry.
No.
You gotta get to 2016.
Well,
everyone's a hoe and everyone's eating ass.
Well, I know you gotta eat the booty like groceries. I know what's going on.
It's like kale, you know?
I know what's up. Wait, you say you eat the booty like kale?
I just like kale.
I prefer quinoa, but whatever, it's cool.
That's funny. All right, ready?
Yes.
I'm Sam, dick sucking extraordinaire.
And I'm Shanika, a classic ass eater.
And we are... Fucking it up, man. All right, one more time. Okay. I'm Sam, dick sucking extraordinaire.
I'm Shanika, a classic ass eater.
And we are the Inner Hoe Uprising. We are part of the vocal minority.
It was so bad. Maybe we're just sorry, man.
How was that? Was that usable?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if that's all you got, then I'm cool. I'll make it work. It's up to you.
Okay, we'll do it again. Do you want to do it again in tandem?
Let's just do we're the Inner Hoe Uprising and we're part of the vocal minority.
All right, ready?
All right. I'm Shanika, a classic ass eater. I'm part of the Inner Hoe Uprising and part of the vocal minority.
I'm Sam, dick sucking extraordinaire, and I am a part of the Inner Hoe Uprising and the vocal minority. Ooh.
Nailed it.
Okay.
I want to try one more time.
Okay. I'll try to account for the delay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
We are the Inner Hoe Uprising and a part of the vocal minority.
I know, it's a get out.
That might have been the worst.
I feel like we let you down. So.
We did.
I think you nailed it. Don't worry. I think you nailed it. Yeah, I think you nailed it. So yeah, cool. It was godly. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I really appreciate you guys coming on. Hopefully we can do this again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks so much. Nice meeting and talking to you guys. I hope you have incredible sex the rest of your life. And
thank you. You too.
and quality, meaningful relationships. You know.
Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay. Have a good night.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Everybody's free. Everybody's free. Everybody's free. Everybody's free. Everybody's free. To feel good. To feel good.
Hey, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that episode. A special thanks to Shanika and Sam of Inner Hoe Uprising. Really appreciate them coming on. Use the hashtag #TheVocalMinority to tweet about the show. Follow us on Twitter @VocalReport. Make sure you go to our website, thevocalminorityReport.com/store. Check out our merchandise. It's a great way to support the show. Free shipping, new designs added weekly. We just added an extended size section. So make sure you check it out. Wear your support, show your support. Special thanks to Lizzie for all of her assistance. Go to audibletrial.com/vocalreport for your free audiobook and 30-day trial. That's audibletrial.com/vocalreport for your free audiobook download. We'll holler at you next episode. Peace.
Everybody's free. Everybody's free. Oh, yeah. To feel good. Oh, to feel good.
This has been a Vocal Neighbors production.